Welcome to the rookies. This is our very first session of actual Jump Rangers gameplay. um, so, uh, I had your character, Bam Bam and
Ripper.
Ripper. That's right.
That's right.
It's right here on the stream. I can read. Bam Bam and Ripper. Bam Bam is a fight ranger. Ripper is a regular. And uh, the the sort of theme that we arrived at for this particular first mission of the rookies was exploring the history of the Lume, exploring their background and where they come from and how they came to be. Um, so that's what this story is going to be about. Does anybody have any questions about the game before we start? Let me ask you that.
I see that you have dice on stream. Will you be rolling for us?
No, I'm going to be
Okay.
rolling for the characters that I'm playing, unless you want me to.
Okay.
I do play with my wife on stream, and my wife is blind, so I have had to roll dice on
Right
stream
on.
for that. But I'm also very autistic, and I like having stim toys.
That's fair.
So that's part of it. So do you guys have 8-sided dice? Let me ask you that.
I got an app.
Okay.
Me
great.
too.
Perfect.
I have an app out because I forgot mine at home.
Very good. So our story begins on, as many Jump Ranger stories do, on Planet Link. I don't know if we talked about Planet Link during our last session, but there is a war going on between the Saurian Horde and the Lume. And Link is the front line of that war. Nobody really knows why they're fighting over this planet, but most of the atmosphere has been blasted off the planet through the fighting. The environment is destroyed, the planet is a blackened husk, and there was a time when the Saurian Horde was colonizing Planet Link when we first got there, when it was green and there was water. It's all gone. But because Planet Link is the front line between the Saurian Horde and Lume Space, it is the only place where you can get off of a Saurian mothership and get onto a Lume mothership. As a result, it's actually hugely strategically important for people. Now, in the war against the Saurian Horde and in our fight to survive, two former Rangers have kind of emerged as leaders of humanity. One of those Rangers is now an old man named Arden Paxis, who runs a base called Fort Paxis on Planet Battleground. It's called Planet Battleground because it's the only place where we're actually winning. There's just a small Saurian mining outpost there, but the success of Arden Paxis in keeping the Saurians away from our base and in building a thriving community has become kind of the blueprint for how we fight the Saurian Horde. His brother, Sudropaxis, built a base here on Link, and people were constantly being moved around until he showed up, pushed from place to place by all the fighting. He managed to secure a location deep in a cave system. He's built a whole thriving base, and now he's using Link as an intelligence source. He has a whole network of scouts and espionage agents working on the planet to observe both Lume and Saurian behavior, activity, fighting, everything else, steal whatever technology they can. He brings it all back to the base and he disseminates that information out to the colonies. In particular, he sends all the time Rangers are running courier missions back and forth between Planet Battleground and Planet Link because Arden Paxis is making weapons. So all that information goes from Planet Link to Planet Battleground, and the weapons come back and get field tested. So these two brothers have kind of made themselves the authority on fighting the Saurian Horde. Because this base has gotten so large here on Planet Link, it's called Paxis Base as opposed to Fort Paxis. And also because there's so much traffic coming through Planet Link to other parts of the Saurian Horde because, as you can imagine, the front lines need to be maintained. So there's motherships coming and going all the time. The Saurian spaceport on Planet Link is a very busy place, and you can get to just about anywhere from here. But you can also get to Lume Space. All of these things make Paxis Base a very, very real hub of Jump Ranger activity. So, another former Jump Ranger, someone who goes by Uncle Slappy, has opened a kitchenette. And there's bunks in the back. You can take basically a small dorm room and hole up there with your Rangers as long as you need to. He's got a little diner out in front. There's always music playing, and he makes people grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup and coffee.
Uncle
So,
Slappy's Diner.
yep,
Okay.
that's exactly right. It's called the Ranger's Roost, or sometimes just the Rooster.
Okay.
But if you were ever looking for Jump Rangers, if you're ever trying to find another specific Jump Ranger, if you're ever trying to find out what's happening in the galaxy and you need news and information, the Rooster is probably the best place to go. And if anyone knows the answer to your question, it's going to be Uncle Slappy because he talks to Rangers all the time. People are always coming through. He takes their information. Part of this universe is the reality that over such large distances, it's faster to carry information on a Saurian mothership than it is to transmit it through space. So ultimately, most news travels from colony to colony by foot. Even if we have the ability to transmit information across a star system, we can't get it in between star systems. So, gossip, word of mouth are hugely important to Jump Rangers. And as a result, Uncle Slappy is a very important figure in Jump Ranger culture. And kind. I mean, he just makes people sandwiches all day. He's a good guy. He used to be a regular, and he misses it. He doesn't really want to do anything else with his life, so he didn't.
That's fair.
You gotta do you, man.
Exactly. So, the Rooster is where you find yourselves at the beginning of our adventure. We don't start stories in bars in Jump Rangers.
Yeah.
But you can have a cup of coffee. And if anybody has a problem with that, they can talk to Uncle Slappy. So, let's see here. There's a couple of other Rangers sitting around, but you guys in particular have been hanging out with this one tech ranger who's about to age out, who everybody calls Bigmouth. He's 17 years old. He thinks he knows everything. Nobody likes him. if you were ever sure that a kid was going to become a tech bro,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of sitting at a table with him.
you're sitting at a table with him and he's telling you all about how life should work.
Hmm.
But the thing about him is that he is desperate for attention. And there's two things about this guy. He outranks you, which means he can get things done. And secondly, he is, in fact, a pretty decent engineer. By no means is he the best engineer the Jump Rangers have ever produced. He's 17 years old. He's been a Jump Ranger for years, and he's only a lieutenant major. It's not that impressive, right? But he is a lieutenant major, and he does know how to fix stuff. So you guys have kind of been like coaching him along. Like,
The 7-year-old and the 10-year-old.
Yep. Well, it's the Rangers. We don't judge. You never know. You never know what a little kid is capable of.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But when the 17-year-old has got him cornered to talk to him, you know how the 17-year-old's living.
Oh, it's rough. It's not happy. It's not a happy life. But he's sipping his coffee and drinking his grilled cheese, and blissfully, Uncle Slappy decides to take a seat at your table. And for just a minute, Bigmouth shuts the hell up.
Yeah, my Bam Bam immediately just kind of sighs and goes, "Oh, thank God."
He
Hi,
tops off
Slappy.
everybody's coffee. Uncle Slappy leans in. He says, "You know what I heard?
What?
I heard the Saurians just took down a Lume mothership over on the other side of Breaker's Ridge.
New tech.
A wreck like that is
How
going to be crawling with Saurians and Lume.
how current is that intel?
It's about 2 hours old. So, I don't
So
know.
maybe 2 weeks.
Oh, you can get there.
Maybe 2 years.
Well, no. These I see what you're saying. These scouts just came in from the field. They're two guys I know myself. They're they're
Oh,
Okay.
decent. They're decent. They're Digger and Clutch. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're fast. They're reliable. They just came in on Cerebus quads, so they move fast.
Bam Bam, new toys.
Well, here's the thing. I overheard you kids talking about the Lume and where they come from, right?
Yeah.
So yes, new tech, new toys. You're right, of course, and you need to know that the Saurian horde is going to be thinking the very same thing. When one of these ships crashes, well, I'll put it to you this way: the Saurians and the Lume on the ground are one thing, but the Lume don't just leave trash lying around. I don't know if you know how this works, but when a mothership goes
Uh,
down, they send out a Valhalla.
yeah, we need to beat that thing.
Yep, basically a giant mothership sky crane that comes down, grabs it up, all of their old tech, all of their old destroyed tech for reasons again I don't know. I've wondered, certainly. I've looked into it once or twice, but they haul all this stuff to planet clearance and just dump it. The whole planet is just a Lume jump yard of tech, right? And there's people living down there. That's where the school is. I forget what it's called. I'm not a tech ranger, but they have a school there for studying Lume, right? That's where the professor comes from. But they've got this huge planet graveyard of stuff. So the first thing they do is they send in their Vanir robots to load any Lume that might be caught in the battery of the mothership, carry them out, get them out, basically evacuate. And then once that's done, they start clearing out the junk. They put everything in Valkyries and haul it off to planet clearance. And if something's too big to put in a Valkyrie, they send it in Valhalla.
Yeah, we need to get that stuff. I need that stuff.
We could have a full Valhalla. We could have a whole one.
We could ride at school.
Full.
I don't think immediately.
Nobody's ever done that before.
Immediately, Bigmouth opens his mouth and says, "I don't think you understand."
Shut up, Bigmouth! I don't hear what you have to say. Unless you got positive things to contribute here, and you can tell me that you know how to hotwire wherever the hell I need you to hotwire, Bigmouth. I need you to shut that mouth.
Well,
a full Valhalla.
Loaded with a Saurian mothership. Now, that's a big job you're talking about. That's a big job you're talking about. I will say.
I'm a big job 10-year-old. Come on.
I've never been on a Valhalla.
Nobody has,
ever.
to my knowledge. I'm gonna tell you this. There's only one or two places on any given Saurian mothership that actually has like artificial gravity and life support.
I've read Ender's Game. I know how to do this.
There's not going to be any life support on a Valhalla, so you're going to have to if you're going to try and steal a Valhalla, right?
Gotta do it from this.
Well,
gonna have to do it from the lab.
You could maybe do it from the lab. I don't know what you think you're going to do with it. My whole thinking in coming to you in the first place was if I was going to go looking for the coordinates of the Saurian homeworld, because I know that's what you were talking about. I would check that mothership's systems.
Yeah,
Now,
flight logs, star charts.
I mean, I don't know how old those computers are, and at that point, Bigmouth says, "Well, I probably could, if you got me in to the mothership's hull through the Yotun robot hangars. There's going to be a door into the superstructure of the mothership from there. We could get access to the computer core. We can't do that. And if you wanted me to fly the ship to the Lume homeworld, we could try and hack the Valhalla once we had that information.
Let's do that.
I mean, it'll feel kind of good to have one grown up on us, along with us.
Yeah.
Are you talking to Slappy?
No.
No, you're talking to. Who are you calling a grown up? I'm not a
Big
grown up.
mouth.
I'm not a grown up for 6 more months.
Grown up to me.
Well, let's make that next 6 months count.
You want to go out big, right? We can do something nobody has ever done before.
Yeah. And we'll have like people will give me more stuff that I need.
Okay, but at the first sign of trouble, I'm pulling the plug.
I'll let you talk to Bam Bam about that. You and Bam Bam can take care of that. I
Let's
don't
go.
think that's usually how it works, but we don't get into trouble. We never get into trouble. Do we get into trouble?
Yeah, never. When
Not trouble we can't get out of.
Never. We have been the least troubliest of all of the children of the world.
I told you that these scouts passed this information on to me. I do know that the commander was hoping there might be a couple of rangers that would be willing to go in and see what they can grab from the data core.
Then what are they going to give
So we
us?
don't have to beat anybody there? They'll just send us?
Well, they might be able to get you a ride.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, where is my
now,
ride?
I don't know how much of a light footprint you need to have going in and out. That's something you can talk to the quartermaster about, but I think they're probably willing to give you whatever it is you need. Make sure that you get there and back again as safely as possible. Of course, they assume that you're coming back.
Yeah, Bam Bam, she gets out like something to write on, and she just starts like writing down like a supply list. Like obviously rations, like air, like kind of
those things, those basic things your suit actually helps you take care of. Your air.
I feel like do we maybe need an extra breather or two? I think that it's, with what we're doing, it feels like having a little extra.
And if that mothership is just
Uncle Slappy
mothershipping around,
puts his finger on the table and just taps it just lightly and says, "I think a little bigger, if I were you." When a mothership goes down, they are going to position at least 1 or 2 Jotun robots, big, giant robots with lightning cannons, right there in front of the mothership to make sure nobody comes close. Okay? They're also going to have a bunch of eyeballs around the perimeter to make sure that nobody gets close without them knowing.
Is there any native fauna on that planet?
Not anymore. Not anymore. The air is too toxic and there's too little of it. It's all been blasted away. But there's lots of rocks. You can. There's a ridge.
Here's the thing that I think we ought to do with the robots in general, and this is what I've been saying for years. Okay, since I was 2.
Okay.
Been talking about this.
Yes.
We've got to convince the robots that we're useful to them, so they won't kill us, and they'll kill the Saurians. See, that's the long game.
But until then, I'll bring scramblers.
Oh yeah, you can have scramblers for sure. For sure.
I want to see if we can take a crack at getting any kind of code or information on how those robots function, what makes their minds function. Are they AI? Are they VI? Are they just all automatons?
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. The quartermaster, the person who helps run the base under Commander Paxis, is a former tech ranger by the name of Casey Holmes.
What'd you say that name was? Out of character, Casey what?
Holmes.
Casey, okay, thank you.
So if you talk to Casey, they might be able to answer some of your questions. I can answer your questions, said Bigmouth. Why don't you ask me these things?
We're bringing you with us so you can take care of stuff. I don't want to ask you. I just want you to do it.
You want to know what the deal is with Lume? I can tell you what the deal is with Lume.
Then what's the deal with Lume?
They're energetic. And at this point, Uncle Slappy says, "Let me know if we need any more coffee." And he makes his way back behind the counter, starts flipping some sandwiches.
I tip him a chocolate bar or something. I don't know.
Capitalism is dead in Jump Rangers, ladies and gentlemen. Just so we're all clear.
Just like, whatever I would have on hand.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it back.
You slip it. You slap a chocolate bar on the desk. That works.
Yeah.
So Big Mouth sits there and explains. He He says they're energetic intelligences. So they
So
zap
they're
themselves through the computers. They zap themselves through the wires. That's how they do it. It's not.
so
It's not. It's not.
they are like living circuits.
Yes, and they use their ships to live in. They use their robots to do manual labor and fight Saurians.
They are a living energy resource.
But what about the Saurian robots? They're just regular robots, right?
The Saurians don't have a lot of robots. There's like a
And they have like
couple. They have a couple of robots out there, but mostly they have the undersouls do everything for
drones.
them. So the
Mm.
Saurians, and they do that because they're telepathic. It's really hard to live in the Saurian horde and have a mind of your own because they are constantly pushing.
So the Lume knows something, and maybe it's the nature of their beings, about protecting themselves from Saurians as brainwaves. Pardon me.
That's a really
Brainwaves.
good question. You don't know, and yeah.
And what if there is something in all of that crap that we can find out will protect more humans from Saurian mental influences, so that we can maybe give them a taste of their own medicine. Anyway, let's
Do we have
Bigmouth.
Do we have anything? Do we have anything aside from Bigmouth to help us short or rewire stuff? Or do we have to go all the way back to the school to get stuff rewired and fixed
like
for us?
We got to talk to this Casey guy, you know? So we should just go to school anyway.
Okay.
Casey's not
Or
a guy.
Casey gal.
Casey's non-binary.
It's not part
It says Bigmouth.
Okay. Pardon me. But yeah, this Casey person. I thought that as soon as I read the name, I'm like, that's such a neutral name.
Yep.
But yeah, I was like, the guy, gal, they, them. But yeah, this person. Let's go see them.
All right. So the two of
Bigmouth, don't screw it up.
Still want extra breathers. You just about got me killed last time.
You could probably have some extra breathers. They don't take a lot to manufacture, says Bigmouth. I'm sure they'll give you extra breathers and screamers.
And Ben forgets my legs.
They'll give her extra whatever she needs.
They better. My legs haven't gotten any longer since the last mission.
Yeah. All right, let's buzz out of here.
So the interiors of these bases are very grimy, very oily, lots of granite flooring. The elevators are loud and clunky, and everything has a very heavy, thick air. Not least of all because you're half a mile underground in the middle of a huge cave system, and it's very StarCraft. There's lots of big clunky hangar doors that take lots of time to open. And part of the reason why you're so far underground is because all this stuff takes power, it makes lots of noise, it creates lots of vibrations, and they're trying to make sure that you don't get discovered. In fact, whenever the Undersor Exterminator starts sniffing around for packs of space, it's usually a bunch of jump rangers that have to go and sort of build a decoy base, lead the effort, and then lead the Undersors there, let them blow it up. And suddenly they think they've solved their human problem. So keeping this place a secret is a constant labor, and in the meantime, things are breaking down all the time. There's a constant effort to maintain everything. It's a lot of work. So you're in one of these big clunky elevators going down to the tech shop. The tech shop is not far from the hangars because a lot of the stuff that the quartermaster hands people is going right out the door.
Yeah.
And inside the tech shop, and this is the case in most colonies, some are bigger than others, the tech shop in Pax's base is huge. There's a lot of different printers printing various technologies. So there's whirring robotic arms all over the place. There's a handful of technicians scooting around. And Casey is a female presenting, non-binary person with gray hair and kind eyes and a lot of energy and focus. And immediately takes notice of you, Rangers. Welcome to the tech shop at Paxa Space. My name's Casey Holmes. What can I do for you?
We've got stuff to do.
Well, how can I help? What
Well,
What do you want to tell me?
so to save us from having to go through everything we just went through, like get Casey up to speed
Okay.
on what we've heard, right?
Okay. So Breaker
First.
Ridge is about 3 miles away. It's not that far, but it's not that close.
Okay.
Um, how do you want to get there?
What would you recommend for the
If you're planning on being as quiet as possible,
yeah,
I would
for the
recommend
goal of espionage?
I would I would recommend that we take a transport and send you out with Cerebus quads.
Okay.
Let you drive back and let you approach on foot. That would be my recommendation. You have a
All
little
right.
extra firepower on the quad if you need it. Um, if you're planning on going in hard, I think we can probably get you a Hercules.
Is a Hercules good?
A Hercules is a mecha starfighter.
Okay. But it's
Um,
just a fighter.
it's a
It can't
fighter.
carry
Well, it turns
a
into a
lot.
robot, so you could potentially just pick something up.
Hmm.
So it's big, but it is also extremely indiscreet.
Yeah, it's a sore thumb. Yeah. No, we want to be more discreet than that.
Okay.
Definitely. We'll go for the discreet option.
Okay. So for the purposes of right now, each of you, including Loudmouth, or no, you're not going to let Loudmouth ride by himself. He's going to get himself killed.
No.
Loudmouth is going to have to ride with one of you. So each of you is given a Hercules, not a Hercules, Cerebus quad bike, which is very much like the quad bikes from GI Joe. It's got 4 big alternating
Yeah.
wheels. It's got twin blasters right on the front. It's got a little handlebar. It seats 2.
He can ride on the back of mine because I'm smaller, and Bam Bam will get mad when he gets in the way.
Yeah.
All right. How many scramblers do you guys have on your character sheets?
Scramblers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 on my character
I think
sheet. Those were like that's
tho-
pre-filled in.
that's the dice, right? Those are the if you're looking at the character sheet,
Oh,
anything that's a diamond is a die. That's your die pool for damage on
right,
scramblers.
right. I didn't mark how many I had.
All right, let me take a quick look here and just bring up the character sheet and see. So yes, you can certainly have another breather if you want one. By all means, Liz. They've got plenty. They're happy to give you one. They're necessary on Planet Link.
I have a baseball bat. That
You
was
have a
body
baseball bat.
+1. Yeah.
That's a good thing to have. Let's see here.
I also want some tape.
Tape. Sure. You can have some tape. Have some duct tape. Duct tape on
Just
your
a little
guy.
bit. Enough that'll fit in my pocket, just in case.
Absolutely. You get a roll of duct tape. All right. So those boxes underneath the scramblers are
Hmm.
the ammo. So
Right.
go ahead and check off 10 scramblers apiece. So just fill it up.
You said
And
both of us 10?
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
So you both get 10 scramblers and you both get 10 boomers.
Ooh.
Scramblers are electromagnetic disruption devices. Boomers are just explosives. They're big ones. The way that you use them is you attach them to your firecracker and shoot them off.
Right.
So, and with that, you get a look from Casey as they say, look, just be careful once you get inside with those boomers and those scramblers. If you're going in there for information, the last thing you want to do is scramble the data core. So once you get inside,
Right.
you're gonna be past the Yotun, but there's still gonna be Dwerge in there, which are the spider bots that monitor
Hmm.
basically and maintain everything in Lume society. Dwerge are kind of the labor force of the Lume, and they're the lowest form of robot they have that actually has a Lume intelligence inside it.
Bam Bam like spins her bat and she's like, "Oh, good. I'll get some batting cage time in today.
Maybe. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that you're not going to be the only people out there gunning for this thing.
Yeah,
You want to keep an eye out
of
for
course.
Saurian activity because they shot it down. They know it's there. You'll be lucky if you beat them to it.
Well, they can try.
I
I
like
ain't
your
scared of
confidence.
no. I don't like. I ain't scared of no toothy idiots.
I like your confidence a lot, Bam Bam. I like to see it.
Do you have any hoverboards?
Do you know what? We don't. I can print one up
That's
for you, but if
okay.
you want to get going now, I'll have one ready for you when you get back. How's that?
Oh, hey, do you have any adhesive?
Yeah, plenty of adhesive. Here's a roll of duct tape. Or do you just want glue? You want like epoxy?
Yes,
All right.
all,
Here's
please.
they give you a super glue, a a stick of super glue, adhesive, bonding
And
agent.
Cool.
she's got duct tape. She's got duct tape. I've got stuff. We're
We're
good.
good for We're good for leaks and sticky. We're
Yep.
good there.
Yep.
But I'm sad that I just still don't have my hoverboard that I lost. Fine.
I see.
Goals.
Well, I mean, come back safe. We'll have a hoverboard waiting for you.
That works.
Okay. Is there anything else I can do for you, Rangers?
If I can't have
Nah,
Are you sure we don't need a grappling hook?
You have a
we
grappling
already
hook.
have those.
Oh, I have one. Never mind.
Nah,
Always good to have a grappling hook. Little
unless
rope
you
in your
think you have,
pocket.
unless you think you have something that's like good at taking tension away.
Wait until you're older for that.
Oh,
Was
okay. That's what my mom said once.
All right, Rangers. I think if you're gonna get moving, you need to get moving.
All
Okay.
right, let's go.
All right.
Come on, mouth.
So outside in the hangar bay, there's a handful of Hermes transports, which are basically cargo bays with a thruster pack on the end and a cockpit on the front. They're very simple,
Okay.
very straightforward, clunky machines, and this is exactly what they do. So you load your Cerebus quads into the back. Who is taking Loudmouth with them?
I will.
Okay. Loudmouth hops on the back of your quad as you scoot in, and with a twin Pegasus starfighter, space fighter, actually technically, escort, the ship flies through a cave system.
Okay.
You watch the caves fly past. There's lights all along the inside up to a certain point, at which point it's just the pilot's memory of the cave so that they can't attract any attention. They fly out of the ground through what amounts to a launch tube and circle around towards Breaker's Ridge. On the far side of the ridge, um, where you're not as visible, they drop down and let the quads out. They do a quick circle to make sure there's no
Vroom.
immediate enemy activity, and
Yeah.
and they fly away. So you're out here on this gray, blasted, sooty landscape, and there is, sure enough, a ridge of hills right in front of you, on the other side of which you do expect to see, and you can see smoke rising, as a matter of fact. And inside the smoke, there's lightning crackling around, almost like it's a storm cloud rising into the sky from the other side of the hills.
Well, that looks sick.
That
Remember, I'm
looks like we
10-year-old.
need to hurry. That's what that looks like.
So the two of you mount up, and this is where our very first. You're gonna ride these quads up the hillside and look
Mm-hmm.
for a vantage point from which to look out over this.
Approach.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So, um, and one thing that I did forget is to actually look up the quads, but I have them right here. So hang on one sec, real quick, while I pull this up. That's the wrong document. So the way this works is you're just going to use your body. So you want to get those dice ready.
Okay.
And the vehicle is going to contribute basically extra virtues and training to you in the form of capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the rules for using vehicles are very, very simple. If you ever get hit, the vehicle has a body of its own that you end up using. So
Right.
we're way too far down here. Blaster, multi-ratchet. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, vehicles. Here we go. There we go. Cerberus. So each of you is given 2 extra capabilities. You have precision maneuvering and turbo to add to your rolls. So who
Heck
wants to roll
yeah.
first and make sure they don't destroy their
I'll
commodity?
go.
Okay. What's your body dice?
My body dice is 5.
5 dice. Okay, so you have basic
Right.
training, you have precision, maneuvering, and turbo. So that's 3. Do you have anything else on your character sheet under virtues and training that can help you find a spot to look out from?
I have tactics.
Because you know where they're going to be looking. That's 4.
I have piloting, even though that applies more to space vehicles.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Driving is what you're looking for here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and sabotage and combat, which I don't think. I mean, sabotage maybe if this was like a mission revolt, but tactics I think is pretty solid.
Any virtues that you think apply here?
Focused and assertive. I think they apply to everything she does.
All right.
But that's just me.
So that's a target of 6, body of 5, target of 6. So you're looking for 6 and under.
On one roll.
Yep. No, you're
Okay.
looking for 6s and under. Tell me how many you get. And that
Okay, so I need to roll my how many I need to roll.
So you're
I'm
rolling
sorry.
your body dice, which is 5
So
dice.
5 dice. Okay.
Everything 6 and under is called a victory. Okay.
Okay. First one's a 4. I'm just gonna write them down as I go.
Okay.
If you want to see these, I can show them to you, but I'm
Nope,
not like
that's okay.
in the business of lying about that.
I don't imagine.
I got a 5.
Okay, that's 2.
4 again. That's
Okay.
awesome. There's another 4.
This is not how it's going to work for me.
That's okay. That's all right.
3. So out of 5, all of them succeeded.
Great. So if you had gotten a 1, you're allowed to re-roll it. If you had gotten an 8, it subtracts a victory.
Okay.
So that's 5 victories.
Okay.
Basically, this is a contested roll because there's eyeballs. There's little robotic eyeballs flying around
Right.
in these hills, and they're going to be looking for you. Okay.
Yeah,
so
of course.
5 is the difficulty of finding you right now.
Right.
You got 5 victories. Now, Liz, what's your body?
3.
Okay. You've got basic training, you've got precision maneuvering and turbo to get up these hills. What else do you have?
Traversal?
Yes. 4.
Stealth?
Yes. 5.
Farseeing? Okay.
No. I'm going to allow it. Yes. Because if you're
Good, because that's the whole reason I chose it.
If you're using your intuition,
was for this kind of situation.
Yep, that counts. That counts.
Okay.
So 6. You also have a target of 6. Now, usually, you don't have precision maneuvering and turbo working to your advantage, so it would be a little bit harder to do things like this if you don't have tools that help you. So you have 3 dice. It's going to help you if you can get a 1. But anything under 6 is a victory. Let me know what you get.
4.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
3.
All right. 3 victories. So let me do a little quick, literally do a little eyeballing here.
I actually like this little app calculator that I installed for this. It's got the 4s, the 6s, the 8s, the 10s, all the way up to the 100s. It's just chilling.
Oh,
You just
nice.
pick the one that you're rolling.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
If it would add it for me, that would be even better, but that's fine.
So up the hill.
Okay.
You can hear the sound of Lume energy signatures. There's a very high-pitched whine that comes with the presence of a Lume eyeball. And there's a couple of moments where you detect that, you swerve away, you make your way up to the very peak and find a place just under the ledge to stash your quads. Creeping up to the top, sure enough, you can see a massive dugout landing crater just cut right into the rocky atmosphere itself with a Lume mothership easily the size of, Catalina Island or Alcatraz. Very comfortably that large. Just smashed into this giant blackened kind of salt flat type area with cracked ground all around it. There are, sure enough, two hefty looking robots with piercing blue glowing eyes and um, dulled but still very bright metal exteriors. Little bits of light emerging from the inside under their shells where their joints come together and everything, keeping sentry. And, even from here you can see little specks, little eyeballs kind of checking everything out in the area. Now, the access to the, usually the robots drop from the bottom of mothership. So if there's going to be access to the hangars where those Yotun are found, it's going to be underneath, probably through the impact crater, is where you're going to have to approach. Fortunately, once you get there, that's also going to afford you the most places to hide, the most cover and concealment. That's what I was looking for. But getting there is going to be a challenge. You don't see any sign of Saurian activity just yet.
Okay, so no Saurian activity.
Nope.
But the robots are around.
Mm-hmm. And they're probably. I mean, you can see that there's been debris. There's been a little cleanup. This is not
Right, they've been working around it.
Yep. But these two robots are not working. They're just there because they know someone's going to come.
Right, they're standing guard.
Yep.
Are there like any blind spots that I could detect, like that I can basically visibly see near them, like places they wouldn't, if we approach from that angle, we might have a better shot, that kind of thing?
I'll let you make a mind roll for that to see if you can
Okay.
figure out an approach.
Yeah,
Now-
because my other thought is like we'll do something somewhere else, and then we'll get their attention drawn that direction.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. So
In
go
fact,
ahead and make your mind roll. What's your?
Okay.
How many dice do you have in mind?
4.
4 dice. So you have basic training.
Yeah. Tactics, sabotage.
I'm not going to give you sabotage on this one.
Yeah.
So that's 3. Tactics.
Combat. I mean, but combat's not super. This is assessing a situation more than it's fighting.
And don't forget your virtues.
Yeah, focused and assertive.
I'm going to give you focused on this one.
Okay.
So that's 4. Target of 4.
All right.
So roll your mind dice, and 4s and under are what you're looking for.
Oh, first one's 8.
Okay, so you're at -1.
Yeah. 6. Ooh.
Nope.
3. There's something good.
That's 0. That's not a botch yet.
2.
2.
Okay.
All right. So with a 2, with the most basic cursory kind of analysis of what's going on, you're pretty sure that even if their backs are turned, there's enough eyeballs out there where you probably will need a distraction because those eyeballs are in communication with the Yotun. They don't
Okay.
just let robots they have Wi-Fi. They can talk to each other.
The nature of the weapons I carry,
Hmm.
those have specific ammunition. Those can't be redirected to like it's not like a cannon where I could just none of them are like a cannon where I could just load it up with whatever.
We have the scramblers.
You
What's the
can.
range on a scrambler?
Yep, you do have scramblers. The range on a scramblers are missiles. So the range is not going to be a problem from here, but aiming at something that far away with a missile is going to be a little bit tricky.
And not hitting our target and messing with that.
Yeah,
Well,
but I have
you
a
are not
bunch of
gonna
glue.
You are not going to do any damage
To Catalina Island?
to it. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to worry
We should
about
have asked
that.
for an EMP projector.
That would have been an interesting choice. You read the book. I could Liz has been reading Jump
I
Rate.
knew there was something I knew there was something I was supposed to ask for.
It's okay. Scramblers are great. You're
But
doing.
I missed my hoverboard.
I am so happy that you read the book. That's fantastic. No, they can't give you a hoverboard right now, but because they don't. But it's a great request, and you'll get one as a present. They'll be more than happy to give you a hoverboard. They just can't do it right now.
I totally relate, Liz. I cashed in all of my magical items on a campaign just so I could have a flying carpet, and it was the best investment I ever made in a D&D campaign.
The flying carpet is always a good investment.
Yeah.
When all your stuff is based on charm, all your powers are based on charm because you're like a super bard, and you're on a carpet that can move at 40 miles per hour, and you're fighting dragons, it comes in real handy.
I was thinking it would come in handy fighting dinosaurs too.
I played a thief
Yeah.
with a warp marble at one point, and
Oh, nice.
and all I needed was a drill.
Yeah, that's all you needed.
Okay.
Velvet
So
was
we
on
only
that
need
carpet
one
just
spot clear,
reeking.
right? We need to clear one spot.
Yep, you have
We just need to
you
get
have
through.
scramblers, you have methods of distracting. So there's more than one way to approach this. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to do your jobs, but yes.
And we have Bigmouth.
You have Bigmouth, although you probably want Bigmouth inside the spaceship.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
We got to keep him alive.
Yeah.
So here's my thought right now. And it might be wasteful to equipment, but if the payoff's good, we could probably not make anybody upset about it. What if we took one of these Doom Buggies? Sorry, I call them Doom Buggy. I'm just imagining like sand all the time now. But yeah, if we took one of these and took some of that tape.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe we take one of these missiles out and tape it to the thing.
We're gonna scramble the Cerberus? I'd do it.
Or we tape the scrambler on this and we just run it that way. And we just we tape the handles so it doesn't it just goes in a line.
Do we have anything that's a better distractor that doesn't take away our scrambler? We don't have. We have firecrackers.
You've each got. You don't want to lose your firecracker. That you have one firecracker, and your firecracker is your blaster weapon, and it's also how.
Yeah, it's your gun.
Scramblers. So you want to hang on to that. You do not let your firecracker out of your sight. Well, if I was going to do it, says Loudmouth, I would stick a boomer on it.
That's what I'm saying.
I would stick all the boomers.
Stick a boomer on it.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't write down the boomers. I forgot we had boomers.
I would just use all 20 or 30 actually.
No, that's not wise. Okay, we won't use all of them. We won't cash all of them in. That's our entire payload.
If we're not fighting Saurians, I see no reason to keep
them. That's a fair point.
I don't know if you know this or not, but looms have shielding. Says Loudmouth.
Ah, yeah, I remember that now. From my years of training.
Now, if we get enough boomers strapped to this thing where they think it's a threat, they're gonna come.
They chase it. They're gonna chase it.
Well, at least for a moment, at least for a few minutes. I mean, it'll give us a window.
Well, are we driving it towards them? Where do you want this thing to go?
No, we don't drive it. We don't drive it.
Away from the ship, but close enough.
Close enough that they think it's somebody coming to get the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to get close enough to get their attention, but it can't go to the ship.
Do you
Do
want
you
me
have
to
any
Or just-
remote control devices on you, right, by any chance, buddy? I mean, maybe you do.
I don't have any remote control devices, but I could set them to explode if someone electrocutes them.
Okay, start working on that. What I'm
Okay.
going to work on is rigging it up so it drives a specific way.
I still have the string in my pocket and the duct tape.
You do. You have
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff here. I am
a big
lock
fan
the
of little
wheels.
things in my pockets.
You don't need to use duct tape. We have better tools.
Duct
Says
tape
Loudmouth.
is a beautiful
Duct tape
thing.
is
Okay.
the ultimate tool.
Okay.
Okay.
My dad
an-
said, for reals, nothing beats
It
duct
is an artifact of our history.
That's my culture there, man.
That's culture.
My
So-
family's from Canada. You ever see the Red Green Show?
Smart.
You ever hear that?
No, I haven't.
Duct tape.
I haven't.
Yeah, because Earth is destroyed. That's why. Well, it's not destroyed, but it sucks now. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I wish I could
Okay,
have actually
wow.
introduced y'all to the Red Green Show.
All right. Show us
The
what
duct
you're
tape
capable
segment
of,
is.
Loudmouth. All right. So you guys sit there and talk about. You guys are talking about your father, and Loudmouth starts working and rigging up the Cerberus just to try and
Right.
tune you out. Which he does, and sure enough, he's rigged up all the boomers, and he's pretty pleased with the results. He's also
that's good.
Him
He's
being
also-
pleased with the results does not make me feel happy.
and he's
Oh,
also
give him a chance.
he's also rigged it to a little. He got 7 successes, so we're fine. He's rigged it to a little app that he's written, which he downloads into your data pad. Who's driving?
Bam, bam.
Wait, I'm driving the murder cart?
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine.
So you've got a little
I can
app on
do
your-
it.
You've got a little app on your data pad, and it's
Yeah.
got steering and acceleration and a detonation button.
Okay.
Oh, I want to push the oh. I get to push the next detonation button.
Fair.
Okay.
All right.
Fair point. It's fair
Alright.
point, everybody. I mean, it's
We're a good
you know.
team because we take turns.
Bam,
Yeah.
bam.
What?
Driving this is a mind roll. It's not a
Good thing
body roll.
I've got 4 mind.
Okay. Tell me what's on your character sheet here. You're trying to outwit them. You're trying to trick them.
Sabotage tactics.
Yep. 2.
Sabotage, definitely.
I mean, the whole thing is a tactic ploy. Like the
Yeah.
whole thing is like this
You
is
don't have to sell me
like
on tactics. You're good with tactics.
yeah.
Sell me on
Yeah.
this-
Sabotage because I'm trying to sabotage them from knowing shit. Pardon me. I'm trying to I mean, kind of like
Mhm.
sabotage somewhat because like one, I obviously want them to
No,
suffer.
you're sabotaging their defense perimeter. The whole thing is rigged.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
giving
It's
I'm
It's
giving you sabotage.
necessary.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic training,
Um,
obviously. Basic training is 3.
Yeah, combat.
This is combat. That's 4.
I am using combat weapons, so I do think that's fair.
Yep.
And then focused and assertive as virtues.
I'm going to give you focused. I don't
Okay.
think the fact that you're assertive is necessarily well.
Assertive is more of a
That's why
social
you get to
skill.
drive,
Yeah.
but it's not
Assert-
really.
Assertiveness is more of a social situation type
So
of
this
skill.
is,
I
you've
would
got
agree.
5 right now. So here's a good time. I'm assuming if Liz, if you're going to be over Bam Bam's shoulder, kind of talking the whole time and backseat driving, then I'm going to tell you how. I'm going
I
to tell
feel
you.
attacked, but yes.
Here's how cooperative actions work. Okay?
Okay.
We're using Buster's die pool for each person that wants to help. And this is absolutely a broken system. It's designed to encourage cooperation.
Right.
For each person that wants to help you, take away one of Buster's dice. And you get to add your virtues and training to the roll. Now, the die only has 8 sides, and 8 is always a botch.
Right.
Okay? So, when you get more than 7 to your target number, we just start adding automatic victories.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So you can
I
potentially,
think it's gonna make more sense once we play it out a little bit, but yeah, I think I
Okay.
kind of got it.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you want to help, if you're going to sit there and just talk over Bam
I
Bam's
have
shoulder, yeah,
I have some
you have some stuff to offer. You have some stuff to bring to
I
the
have
table.
some stuff to offer in
Yeah.
this particular situation.
Okay, so your basic training also counts, even if you have the same ones as Bam Bam. They count. So
Right.
we were at 5. Basic training is 6. What else do you have?
Mm, we could still use traversal for this. It's
7.
traversing.
Yep.
Yeah, you could be like
Uh,
calling out like, oh, like up ahead,
So
because I'm focused. Like,
we're at
I have
7.
no idea what it will ever actually be good for, but I totally want smart to be in this. It
Absolutely
should
smart is
count.
8. So we're at 7 plus 1. Okay.
And technically, I still don't know. Farseeing is one I'm still kind of
I'm going to
on,
give it to you. I'm going to give it to you.
yeah, it's so
but
applicable here.
like that's the whole point of me helping, right?
Yep.
Is
You're
to give
using
you
Right.
extra.
your
Yeah,
intuition. You're making it
yeah,
harder for
exactly.
Buster to focus and concentrate. So they're taking away a die. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Yeah.
can you offer more than you're taking is the question. So
And I feel like I do.
Yeah.
So right now your target number is 7, Bam Bam, and you have 2 automatic victories on the roll.
So that means I need to get under 7, right?
Under 7. If you don't get 8s, but you subtract 1 die, so you have 3 dice. Okay? If you get 1s, this could be a really, really successful roll.
Right.
If you
Haven't
get
seen a one yet.
8s, you're going to start whittling away at the success that you already have.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so that's what we're dealing with. But you're probably going to wind up with 5 victories.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your 3 dice.
Okay. First roll.
Don't
5.
5. Okay, so now you're at 3 victories.
It just takes a second to roll out. 2.
4 victories.
The next
Oh.
one. And 3.
3. So that's 5 victories.
Yay.
Your goal here is to draw as the attention of the robots and as many of the eyeballs as possible. So you pilot this little cart that you've stuck together down the side of the hill, and it starts trundling off like a little Mars rover into this wasteland full of eyeballs. And sure enough, a bunch of eyeballs start swirling around it. Before too long, one of the robots shifts its position, and it starts making its way towards. Are you just going to keep piloting it across the plane?
We need to draw the robot just a little bit closer. Like, are we clear? Can Bigmouth get in the ship? This is really the trick, because I know I can. I'm pretty sure you can. Bigmouth make it into the ship?
So the answer to that question
Before we blow it up.
It might involve one of you getting on to the other. Right now, it's not opening up. Like, if you're going to try and get Bigmouth across, one of you is going to have to lead him. He's noisy. He's awkward. He's not that good at this. So what is Bigmouth's? Let's see. What is Bigmouth's body? He's not honest. He's got 5 dice, but he doesn't have a lot of applicable skills. So if one of you wants to help him across, you can probably get him on the ship. Who wants the? Buster's driving. Buster's driving. So
that means I have to do it.
Yep. So Bigmouth has 5 dice. We're going to take those 5 dice right here. Now, Bigmouth has basic training and smart. Bigmouth has a target of 2. So we're going to take away one of those dice. We have 4 dice to work with here. What have you got, Liz? This never goes well is what's running through your mind?
We gotta keep the NPC alive.
So there's a 3.
Oh, no, I'm asking what do you have in terms of virtues
Oh, what do I have? Oh, thank God.
In terms of virtues and training to help Bigmouth survive this
I don't know, aside from smart, stealthy,
1, 2,
and traversal,
3,
and basic training.
4, and again, farseeing.
Yes, so that's 5.
You have a lot that apply in this exact situation.
Thank goodness.
Anything else?
Don't have a hoverboard. I know that.
No, you do not.
starting to sound like my 7-year-old. Psychic, untamed. No,
I'm going to give you psychic because you're using your far-seeing, so psychic is
that's
applicable.
true. Okay. All right, that's
6.
me.
So we have a target
So
of
glad he's
7
rolling
plus
this one.
1. So we got an 8 and a 1, a 5 and a 3. So we got 3 victories. Plus the automatic one that we had is 4. But now we're back
Okay.
down to 3 because of the 8. But we got
Yeah.
a 1, so we're going to re-roll the 1 and see if we get that 4th victory back. We do not. 8s on re-rolls do not count. So we got 3 victories plus the 5 victories that you had for attracting their attention. You see what I'm saying? So this
Right.
whole operation is to get him across the field. 8
Yep.
victories. And we're just going to see if any of these
I'm
eyeballs
so glad I didn't have to actually roll that one because
catch on here. Nope.
do not have good rolling.
So, while Buster pilots this little contraption across the Badlands, you grab Bigmouth's hand and drag him across the open field, telling him not to be such a baby, pretty much the whole way, until eventually you reach the cover of the huge scar that this mothership carved into the ground when it came down. Now, are you gonna? They reach cover safely.
Yeah.
Are you gonna just blow this thing up and rush to join them, Buster? Is that your plan, or are you gonna? What's your plan?
Well, okay. Is the detonator? Is it like shooting them off one at a time, or
No,
is the detonator like for a full payload?
It's just a full payload. Blow the whole thing up.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I would get that. I mean, the idea would be that, like, okay, I've distracted them for the other two to get in,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then now these things are kind of paying attention, chasing me around,
Mm-hmm.
and I would probably get closer, but not so close to the ship that it affects it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But close enough that I could quickly get into the ship and get away from them as needed on
Okay.
foot.
Don't
Okay.
forget your remote, so you don't have to be too close to it when you blow it up.
Oh, I keep thinking I'm on it.
No.
That's
That,
right.
Yep. No,
Right.
you've got it on your data pad. You're still on the top of the ridge.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it just start doing some donuts
Okay.
until they all get near it. And then I'll do the button.
Okay. So we're gonna do one more roll to see if you can kind of attract as many of
There's
these
like a
eyeballs as possible.
there's like a makeshift like mannequin from like driftwood or something, you know.
So you have 4 dice. You have 4
Two rocks
dice.
duct taped together.
You have 4
Okay.
dice. What is so you have your
I mean, tactics are donuts or tactics.
yeah, sabotage tactics, you have basic training.
Yeah, sabotage tactics.
I'm going to give you focus, but I will also give you assertive in this because you're actually trying to grab everybody's attention.
Yeah.
So you're trying to
Nice.
So that's 5. Target of 5, 4 dice. Roll it.
Yeah, so I'm basically like on foot inching toward
Oh, you're like
getting
trying to steal
in.
you're trying to steal base here?
Yeah, like I'm exactly like I as those robots have been paying more and more attention to all that stuff and they got off on their way, like I've been like hauling, but at the same time like remote like
Okay, so go ahead and roll your 4 dice to see how well you distract them.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll to see if anyone notices you.
Okay. Okay,
So,
3 6 2 and I got one more, right? Yeah.
Yep.
A 1. Is that a reroll you said?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
But if that 1 is an 8, don't worry about it in this case.
Okay. Well, I re-rolled it and it's a 3.
Great. So that's 5. 5 victories. All right, which is good. Eyeballs are not that bright. So that's the good news. Flying, killing, spree.
Yeah, what time of day? Like, is it light outside or what? I never thought to ask that earlier.
3, 4. Target of 4. Oh, good question. Oh my god. That's terrible. That's 2 8s.
Uh-huh.
So literally,
Yeah, robots suck.
Yeah, these guys are not making me proud.
Robots suck.
So you inch your way across the field, literally, like
On foot, yeah.
there's two giant Jotun robots, just a couple thousand yards away, and you're just kind of like playing with your finger, just like
Bam!
and you make your
Snap,
way.
crackle, pop.
Yeah. So you blow it up, and all of a sudden, of course,
I literally say, bam!
What's-
Bam, bam.
And
Bam,
you duck
bam,
down.
boom, boom. Bada bing, bada bam.
You duck down next to Ripper and Loudmouth.
Yeah.
And from here, you guys have a pretty clear shot into the underside of the giant mothership, and there's a whole bunch of massive armatures designed to lower robot Jotun down to the surface. So you make your way in, you climb up one of those huge robot arms. This thing is kind of like tilted. It's not perfectly flat on the ground.
Yeah, it's askew.
So the underside of it's a little exposed, and there's wires and things hanging down from these hangar bays. So you climb up into one of the hangar bays, and sure enough, at the very top of the hangar bay, there is a big, round, kind of blast door like hatch for the spider droids to climb in and out of. Now this ship is huge, and there's 100 of these hangar bays just all around the outside ring of the ship. It has all kinds of systems and resources for Lume, but it's so of course let's just make sure that this is true. We're going to say that Loudmouth steps in to hotwire your entry into the ship, which he should be able to do. 6 dice.
Yeah, he better.
Smart 2, basic training 3, Lume technology, that's 5, programming is 6. So we got 6 dice, or target of 6 rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, he gets it open. The door opens, and inside is a massive superstructure, very much like a web or a jungle gym.
Right.
Holding the whole thing together because they don't need rooms. They're not real. They just need coolant and systems. And as soon as this door opens, by the way, it's hot. It's hot in there. Not necessarily, not dangerously hot, but uncomfortably hot for sure.
Right, we're going to be sweating.
You're going to be sweating. You can see all the needles on your suit. And these, if there were Lume in here, they've probably been evacuated. So whatever heat that battery was putting out at the very center of the ship is probably less than it was. But it turns out this thing is a freaking oven.
Yeah.
Loudmouth looks down at you and he says, if there's an obvious place to look for the computer core, I think we should look for it near the central battery where the Lume live, because they'd want to access the data.
Fair enough. All right, let's start doing that.
So you guys start climbing your way through this giant metal jungle gym.
I kind of make sure that as we're doing that, like we sort of stay together but spread out enough that like we're not affecting each other. If like one of us fell, one of us would have a shot at catching or helping them, but not like necessarily like, oh, because she fell above me, I'm coming down too. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this. Does anyone want to take responsibility for keeping Loudmouth quiet?
I will.
Okay.
She had to babysit him through
I got him here.
Yeah, she got him here. I'll get him through this room. We'll tag team that.
But I can, if needed, occasionally do a mind check because I do have some of that psychic ability still. So let me know if we need to look ahead a little.
Well, this is a spirit check, and so here's how this works. Here's how this works, Liz. What you're doing is basically a combined action, not a I forget what the word is, but you're using combined successes. So basically, you're trying to succeed in a spirit roll so that you can make the climbing itself easier.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's something you can just do.
Look,
and it's always a good idea.
I am always fond of the intuition checks. That's all.
So how many dice do you have in spirit?
6.
That's fantastic. What virtues and training do you have that apply to this situation?
Psychic, farseeing,
2.
stealth?
What'd you say?
I said stealth?
Yes, absolutely. 3.
And I honestly feel like, well, maybe not. I feel like this is a place where Untamed would come into
That's right. 4.
play just a little.
5 is basic training.
And
Always basic training.
it's a smart decision. Smart.
6. You have a target number of 6. You have 6 dice. So roll 6 dice and tell me how many come in at or under 6.
1. That's my first one.
Nice. Reroll the 1.
4.
That's 2 victories, and you have 5 dice left to roll.
4. You know, I've got a bunch of
3.
4s today. I feel like this app is 2.
4.
7.
Okay.
Had to happen.
Yep.
2.
5.
Yeah, nice.
Is that everything?
No, you got one more.
3. I'll
6
take it.
victories. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this wasn't the most challenging roll that you could have made. Your difficulty was 3. So everybody's getting 3 automatic victories on their roll because you exceeded the difficulty by 3. So, Buster,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go ahead and roll your body to slip
Okay.
through this thing towards the place that Loudmouth has told you to go. I want you to roll tell me what you've got on your character sheet to help. First of all, how many body dice do you have?
5.
5 body dice. Fantastic. So you have basic training.
Yep.
Focused.
Combat sabotage, tactics, piloting. I don't think really any of those apply here, personally.
Nope.
Maybe, yeah. We don't have anything to sabotage at the moment. Focused and assertive. I mean, focused, trying to get up and down, trying to just stay in the moment of the task at hand.
Mm-hmm. So focused, and basic training, and what was the other one? Was there another one? Not really.
No.
Okay.
Not really.
You have a target number of 2.
Yeah.
You do have 3 automatic victories because of the information that Ripper has given you.
Okay.
You have 5 dice, right? You said 5?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Roll it.
Okay. 3.
Okay.
Right.
Just stay away from the 8s. That's and then see if you can pick up a few spare victories on the way. That's the goal here.
Yeah. 8. Oof.
Okay. You're down to 2 victories.
5.
5.
8. Ooh.
Okay,
and one
you're
more.
down to 1 victory.
And 3.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. We have. I need my stuff over here. This is what
I'm blaming it on Bigmouth.
Bigmouth is a pain in the butt, and it's always fair to blame things on Bigmouth.
Yeah, Bigmouth accidentally grabbed my ankle when or something.
All right, here we go. So, Bigmouth. Let's see here. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we have 8 dice. 1. 8 dice and a target of 1.
Jeez.
That's what we're looking at here.
He's not going to live.
No, this isn't Bigmouth.
Oh.
All right. This is.
Oh no.
So we got an 8 and a 1. Okay. Out of all that, I only got the 1 victory. And okay. So you are taking Bigmouth through this maze, and and literally, you're listening to Liz's instructions, and you're you're hearing some clatter and clanking through this giant metallic superstructure. You're hearing humming of machines that are still active after the crash. You climb your way up until eventually you see a robot spider, all not necessarily chromed up and shiny, but a little bit dingy, but still like with glowing parts and lots of mechanical whirring things going on, making its way right past you. And Ripper had said, just climb straight until you reach this point and then turn left. And you're like, okay, screw it. So you keep climbing right at this robot spider. And it passes right over you, climbs right past you, doesn't even notice you.
Bitch.
You did exactly what Ripper said to do. Now, Ripper, I want you to go ahead and roll to see if you can.
Follow my own instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So this is a stealth roll. You're climbing, so it's body. Your body's not too high.
3. Yeah.
3. Okay, 3 dice. Basic training counts always. And don't be afraid to use your far seeing and stuff like this. Far seeing and psychic puts you at 3. I forget what else you have.
Far seeing, traversal, stealth, and untamed. Smart.
Smart. I'm not going to give you untamed on this roll. You do not want to be untamed here. But you want to be you do want to be smart. So
all right.
Plus basic training, that's a target of 5.
Yep.
5 dice and under. Just don't botch this roll. That's what I'm asking.
Please.
I rolled a 1.
Great. 1s are good. So re-roll it again. That's 1 victory.
3.
2 victories. And now roll the rest of your
1.
dice. 3 victories.
6.
Roll again. Roll the 1 again, and 6 on the.
Yep.
Okay, so now you're
on the reroll.
Yep, and now you have 1 more die. So you're at 3 victories plus the 3 you already had.
3.
This isn't so bad. The 2 of you start.
That's what I get for. I played with the calculator before we started, and I was rolling nothing but 8s, and I think I worked them all out for today.
Nice.
That's good.
And that was before I knew it was bad. I was just kept rolling them.
All right. You actually managed to sneak past the dwerge. Nicely done. And it takes you a good long time to climb your way. I mean, you're literally climbing for a half a day in this thing. And eventually you do, and you can't hear what's going on outside. The hole's too thick. You don't know if there's saurians. You don't know if there's fighting. You don't know what's going on. You take a minute for water. You crawl your way through this. You encounter 1 or 2 other spiders on the way, but you've had very clear visions. You know exactly what to do. And you make your way towards a hot, massive, humming, giant generator in the heart of the ship. And sure enough, there's a lot more components and things. Loudmouth finds what he's looking for. And he sits down in front of this massive, what can only be described as like a dippable server rack that has nothing cooling it. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing just looks like it's covered in wires transmitting energy. The whole it's hot, very hot.
Right.
And he takes out his multi-tool, attaches his little Lume fixture to it, and goes to work to see if he can make all this effort from the both of you worthwhile. This is going a lot more smoothly than my other Ranger game. You guys are good at this game. You're getting a hand of the systems, and it's supposed to be breakable and it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to make you feel like if you use the anyway, you get it. If you use the tools, it's supposed to reward you for it. So, where the heck did I put him? I know where he is. Hang on one sec. Bigmouth. 6 dice. This is what you're good at, Bigmart. So it's confident, smart, basic training. That's 3. Lume tech is 4. Tech is 5. Programming is 6. And he's trying to steal information from this thing.
Come on, mouth.
So, Bigmouth
side told me everything.
Takes out his data pad, plugs it in, takes out his tool, opens up a little, pulls aside some wires with his little multi-tool, plugs his data pad right into the database of this basically a Lume flying city,
Right.
and immediately is electrocuted.
I kick him. I kick him off. Quick thinking. Kick him off.
All right.
Keeping my hands in my pockets on one foot. Just kick.
Make a strength check. Make a strength
yeah.
check. So this is body. This
Yeah.
is body.
5.
So you have 5 dice. What do you have
Yeah.
to roll?
Yeah, I mean, I got the focus, the assertive, basic training, combat, sabotage. I mean, really, this is all common sense. You just kick a person.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
It's just this.
So
This is definitely basic training.
Assertive, basic
Big
training.
time.
Everything is basic training. That's the point of it.
Yeah, assertive. It is assertive, isn't it? Bam.
So
one thing I was always taught.
Assertive, combat. That's 2. Basic training is 3. What else do you have?
Sabotage, tactics, and piloting.
Okay, 3.
I mean, that's
your target is 3. Roll body against a target of 3.
Okay. Come on. 6. 8. 6.
Okay. All right.
1.
1. Okay. So you're at 0.
1.
2 ones. Reroll the ones.
3.
Was the second one on your reroll?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're up to 2 victories. You have 1 more die to roll.
And I rolled another 1.
Nice. 3 victories.
Man, those 1s saved me in the end.
Okay.
So I was like 6, 8, 6.
Okay. So you kick him, and he doesn't break free. Instead, you step in, you put your foot on his data pad, and you literally kick him away from the data pad. And as his hands pull away from the data pad, crackling energy courses from the dating pad across you.
And into my bat. Now I have a magical bat. No, I'm sorry.
And into his hand. You're actually using the bat to push him away, probably.
Uh-huh.
And the crackling energy is followed by almost like a faint glowing mist that courses from the computer into Loudmouth.
Him.
Now, Loudmouth is screaming, and of course that's going to bring attention, right?
I put duct tape on his face.
Closed. You put duct tape on his face? You duct tape Loudmouth.
That's why we brought it!
And his... you duct tape.
And I'm just like going, shh, shh, I know it hurts, but...
He opens his eyes, and for a brief second, his eyes are glowing blue.
Oh, they got him.
And then he closes his eyes again, and he opens them, and they're clear.
Are you
He
okay?
looks at you, and he says...
Oh, I take the tape off first.
He looks at you, and he says, I got it. I got the information. And that is where we break for the day.
Well, maybe they uploaded like less mouth into Bigmouth.
Yeah, it was...
I am pretty sure
he's an alien now.
Stab one of us in the back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's an alien now.
Crap.
He's an energy alien thing.
Never gonna get a hoverboard this way.
Okay, there's an episode of Star Trek about this. I know what to do.
Oh. Actually, you're right. This is true.
Literally, you can't do anything in a game like this without me going, there's a Star Trek episode about this. I know what to do.
Now I need to go watch it.
I don't know if I told you this, Buster, but I actually do a lot of work with the Antaeus Theater Company, which is...
Oh, really?
Are you familiar with it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My wife is actually taking a theater class right now with Armin Shimmerman.
Oh, that's fun. That's awesome.
He's a delight.
I love him. I think he's probably one of the coolest people. No, but I always, out of like a bunch of the cast members from old Star Trek, he always like strikes me as somebody who's like very convicted to. He's very dedicated to his convictions, and I appreciate that in a person.
That's absolutely for sure. The Armin is absolutely like a rock in terms of what he likes and doesn't like, and what he knows is good.
Yeah, he knows what he's got a clear head, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that was fun. That was a good kick.
That was a good start. I think we're doing pretty well.
That was a good like pull away. Like that was really well paced and everything.
Thank you. I appreciate.
I know it gets harder to pace a group game like this, the bigger the group is.
I was going to say, the more people, the harder
like
it is.
if we had like
Yeah.
I think if we had one more person, we would have got out about the same as we did today. But I think if we had like 4 or more, it would have we would have gotten about halfway through.
There's no way you're getting 4 people across that plane. That would have you would have wound up, somebody would have botched a roll and you would have wound up fighting robots.
Yeah, if we'd had more people, it would have been like your job's to do the robots. We're doing the other stuff.
Yep. Although I don't think you want to be on this ship alone if you're planning to hijack the Valhalla.
Oh yeah, we're taking the whole thing. We're taking all of it. It's mine. I'm gonna live in it.
They're going to talk about us in Ranger lore forever.
I'm excited.
We're going to be famous when we're done.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the motto of the Jump Rangers is, right? Do we remember from last session?
I don't remember.
Gosh, I had that up.
It's go high and go far. Go high and go far.
Right.
See?
I was like, it's like not Infinity and Beyond, but it's like kind of in that idea.
It is, and that's what you're doing. You're going high and you're going far. You're going to places that no one's ever been, and you're stealing Lume.
And Bigmouth got an upgrade.
We'll find out about Bigmouth.
He was never this good before.
That's what I'm curious about. I'm really, because like I had talked about like we've, you know, like my big characters like thing, like we got to reprogram the robots or convince the robots that we're not a problem and we can help them with the dinosaur problem as long as they don't kill us later. That would be cool.
Well, now maybe this is an opportunity for you to have that
discussion. It's time to become the megalomaniac my character was always meant to be.
Yep.
The great savior of all.
You promised negotiations when you started this game. You did. So.
Yeah, I'm a big negotiator.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. Does anybody have any postmortem questions, thoughts, anything along those lines, apart from the compliments, which I appreciate?
You know, in my sessions, we always do a thing at the end where we ask everybody what their favorite moments were of the session.
All right.
Which I always think is fun. Like, everybody should go. So, Liz, what was your favorite moment? It doesn't have to be your own moment. It can be somebody else's moment. It can be whatever.
You know what? Coming up with the plan to drive the Cerberus across the plane to blow up robots was probably, you're going to have to go a few sessions to beat that, because that was a good idea. That was a really good idea. And you know what? I don't care if some people don't like my love of duct tape. My dad told me duct tape will fix anything, at least temporarily.
Yeah.
And I believe him. And y'all, if you ever get the chance, should actually look at old clips of the Red Green Show. They had an entire thing. It's a Canadian comedy, so it's from where I'm from, but it's these guys in flannel who use duct tape to hold their cars together. Like it's a whole thing.
Oh my god!
So if you ever do get the chance, I hope you watch a few clips. I may spam you.
We need to get T-shirts that say duct tape is culture.
Yes, that is my culture. I didn't know I had any culture. I was a woman without country till today. Now I have culture.
There you go.
Well, my favorite moment was certainly kind of at the beginning, like when we just sort of fell right into it with our characters. Like there was no like us going, hey, ahead of time, like how well are they, like what's their dynamic? Nope, like it came like I think we both had kind of like a similar place to go to, right?
Yeah,
but like I think that, and I also like the Bigmouth, just Bigmouth, like existing in the beginning with all that too. Like you did a great job with Bigmouth, and was nice enough to be like, nah, like let me go, nah, shut up.
I was thrilled that you guys took Bigmouth the spirit in which he was offered. That was very rewarding. So
you did a good job of kind of making that clear. What about you? What was your favorite moment since you're the DM?
Well, I liked how you guys came together and you dealt with Bigmouth very effectively. I liked that was fantastic. That was great. I liked the chuckle. I also liked that you accepted Uncle Slappy as easily as you did. And I think.
I mean, you can't not love a guy named Slappy.
But
who feeds you?
I love that, like, just in terms of like having spent so much time on these rule systems, I really appreciated how intuitively Liz was just like, "Can we use farseeing to make this easier?" And I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
yes." like
this plays so similar to Star Trek Adventures, because Star Trek Adventures does a similar thing. Like, one, you want to roll, well, that's a D20 system, but that you want to roll under 20, like, right? Like, I set like a difficulty for a task at like, oh, the difficulty's like out of 20, it's 10. So they want to get under 10 on a single 1D20. So for me, it's like, it kind of makes sense, but I'm still figuring it out. But she's got a lot more intuition with it.
While the subject is up, you guys were kind of in a rush and there wasn't any time to deal with this. But before we move on, I'm going to take a quick second to explain how character advancement works, because we have the attention.
Oh yeah, I haven't even thought about that.
So there's two things that you need to know going into each session. Okay?
Okay.
If you want a new virtue, all you have to do is prove that you are that thing. So
back up the evidence.
Yep. So here's how it works. In the beginning of a session, ideally, because that gives you the most amount of time, I want you to tell me, Tenny, I'm going for this virtue in this game. Okay? And it's like pool. It's like sinking an 8-ball. Whatever that virtue is, your job is to target 3 rolls over the course of the game that you know require that virtue and make them without it.
Oh, cool.
You need to get all 3 rolls. If you miss one,
that's pretty neat.
You're not that thing. You see what I'm saying? So if you're like, I'm sneaky,
yeah,
great. This is a great time to be sneaky. You're in a mothership, right? So fantastic time to prove that you're sneaky. So go ahead and say at the beginning of that session, I'm going for sneaky. Great. So pick 3 rolls that you think you have to be sneaky to achieve. I'll either agree or not. If I agree, you make all 3 of those rolls in succession. You can't miss one.
That's pretty neat. I like that.
Get to add sneaky to your character sheet. Training is the opposite. Training is you have to learn something.
Right.
Which means you have to find someone to teach you. You have to find specifically 3 separate people.
Okay.
To teach you this
skill.
To
train you up, yeah.
And they will each give you something to do, and you have to make all 3 of those rolls.
Okay. I'm gonna learn to make grilled cheese sandwiches. We gotta go talk to Uncle Slappy.
That's right. And 2 other people who know how to make grilled cheese sandwiches.
Shoot.
Yep. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
It's 2 ingredients.
But if they give you
only if you're boring and have no imagination.
That's true.
Los Angeles is the city of we have a grilled cheese food truck here, and it gets very competitive and there's a grilled cheese invitation.
In the world of Jump Rangers, I do not think a lot of variety of cheese is available.
Nope, cheeses.
Honestly, I'm a little afraid to find out what the cheese is made from.
It is for sure synthetic. It is for sure synthetic. So
thank goodness at this point.
Unless it's not. Sometimes there is farming and there is agriculture, but it's grim. It's grim.
That's what I'm gonna do when I'm a retired
down there
Jump Ranger.
Milking beetles in the dark.
I'm gonna have space cows make space cheese.
That's a fantastic idea. You're looking for that simple Rambo retirement. You're looking for that, like, I did my part. Now it's time for the easy life. I just want some peace and quiet.
So no, that's totally different movie.
Thank you so much for today. I actually have to go because I bought myself a 40-ounce Awala.
Godspeed.
And I emptied it. So I absolutely love playing with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for being here. Our next stream is Thursday. It's 5 p.m. Pacific time. It is the Ranger Stories stream where we read from we're getting into the conclusion of Jump Rangers, a game called Conquest. So join us if you want. I'll be there reading and editing on stream. And thank you, Liz and Buster, for being here. Don't be a stranger, Ranger.